Larry tried to kill me.
Yeah. I was so thoroughly disgusted.
I mean, think about it. Why does it make you special to do what you do?
Packers jumping around. They rush forward. Plenty of time for John. Now squeezes, steps up in the pocket. Elliott can run inside the 10. Head first. He dives off the 5-yard line. My goodness.
Rushing forward, ball comes out of the hands of Newton. It's on the ground and still on the ground. Picked up by T.J. Ward at the 4-yard line.
Also Brian Clady and Bob Miller. Third and long 3. Going deep. Oh, and he's got Thomas. Goodbye. Touchdown. Here we go. First snap of the overtime. The Broncos have been in 3 overtime games this year. They won them all. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Stiff arm got him 3 to the 30. To the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime.
Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and sports topics related. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, before I get into Broncos news and other sports news, I got to start out with a very, very hard thing to start out with, and that is the passing of an Avalanche legend. Peter McNabb, the longtime Avalanche analyst Peter McNabb, passed away last Monday after his battle with fighting cancer. Now, he was in remission, but I don't know what happened. Something happened, and it took a definite turn for the worst. He was 70 years old, or I should say 70 years young. His energy, his commentary, his analytical mind, his knowledge of the game, because he played it for the Boston Bruins primarily. And then he was an analyst alongside Mark Mosier for 27 years in the booth. And last night, the Colorado Avalanche paid an amazing tribute to Peter McNabb. And if you didn't see it, hopefully somebody has it up on YouTube. Amazing. Instead of a moment of silence, the fans stood and cheered and clapped. Exactly the way they should have done it, and they did it that way. And then the Avalanche go out and win 5-3 against the Nashville Predators. But for the very first period, Mark Mosier, he called the game, and it must have been hard, extremely hard, but the seat next to him that would normally be occupied by Peter McNabb was empty. And every time there was a replay that Peter McNabb would have commented on and analyzed, went silent. It was just the replay. And I thought that was an amazing tribute that not only the Avalanche did, but Mark Mosier. It was absolutely classic. It was classy. Not classic, I should. It was classy. It was honorable. And it was done to a person that meant the world to a lot of Colorado Avalanche players, fans, people who worked with him in the organization, and all of that. Peter, Maxie, you'll be missed. Absolutely missed. May you rest in peace. All right, guys, let's move on. Okay, now, this is a very, very, very hot topic right now. Before I get into that, I do want to give a shout out to Avatar. Avatar, you're dead right. Or, excuse me. Well, I shouldn't have used the word dead. I apologize. I'm sorry. We will miss you, Peter McNabb. Absolutely. it was a very, very moving tribute, and well done. Always glad to have you in the house, Avatar. Okay. Daniel Snyder, the NFL, and Roger Goodell are being sued. All three of them. Well, the NFL being the NFL, which Roger Goodell is the head of course. So you have Daniel Snyder is being sued along with Roger Goodell and the NFL by the Washington, D.C. Attorney General Karl Racine for their roles in allegedly covering up the workplace and sexual misconduct allegations against the organization. Ooh, now, what does that mean for Goodell? Could he have to step down as commissioner? And there would have to be, obviously one other person to step in? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, if these allegations come out to be proven true, whoo, man. And now, on the bigger side of it, does that mean the NFL is going to have a black eye and maybe never recover from this? I sure hope not. I want the NFL to continue being the NFL. But I don't know. These are very, very strong allegations. And let me continue. And I'm quoting Karl Racine here. For years, the team and its owner have caused very real and very serious harm and then lied about it to dodge accountability and continue to rake in the profits. Oh my goodness. And we all know that Roger Goodell never did anything to Daniel Snyder. He basically just went pat on the wrist and turned away and walked away and let bygones be bygones, let things happen. Wow. So Roger Goodell and Daniel Snyder, as well as the NFL, could be in major, serious trouble. Snyder may have to sell the Commanders. There'll always be the Redskins to me, but whatever. Have to sell the Commanders. Roger Goodell will probably have to step down. And I don't know what would happen to the NFL after that. I really don't. I would hope that it would remain to be the NFL that we know it. But wow. Okay. I continue. Racine also said, and I quote, so far they seem to have gotten away with it, but not for long. End quote. Wow. I mean, this is not good, guys. This is not good at all. It's good for the NFL to get rid of Daniel Snyder. The guy's an obvious problem to not only his team, but the league. I understand that. But this is huge. This is major because it involves Roger Goodell, who apparently was covering up with Snyder as well. And that's why there was no punishment. Now, there's been speculation that Daniel Snyder has something on Roger Goodell and other owners. So I don't know. Maybe that's why. It doesn't matter what the reason is. The reason is Daniel Snyder's not a good owner. And if you have sexual misconduct allegations and workplace harassment or whatever, no, it doesn't fly. It doesn't fly anymore. It doesn't fly in the NFL anymore. And it doesn't fly in society anymore in any job. So we'll find out what happens down the road, but this is not good. This is not good, guys. I hope the NFL can survive after this. I really do. I hope the NFL can survive. Okay. Let's go to this. This is bothersome in so many different ways. And I'll definitely point out those ways. But this should never happen on a disciplined team. And I'm not talking about penalties. Oh, heaven knows we all know about penalties. Absolutely. Been way too many. And here was one of them. Special teams coordinator Dwayne Stukes said in his press conference, when asked, how in heaven's name do you get to delay a game on a kickoff? Well, here it is. According to Dwayne Stukes, The reason for the delay of game penalty on the Broncos kickoff was due to a core, which is a very important player, a core player stretching? No. Getting some work done in the tent? Nope. Misplaced his helmet? Nope. How about this? He was eating a hot dog and not ready to be on the field. Are you freaking kidding me? Well, first off, where'd he get the hot dog? Did he walk over to the stands and go, yo, hey, over here, man, hey, put it on Hackett's tab or put it on Stuke's tab? Or how do you get a hot dog? What, do they have them on the sidelines that, well, it's break time. I'm in the union, so it's break time. I guess they get me a hot dog. What the heck? I mean, seriously. Did he come out of the locker room at halftime or at the beginning of the game, whatever, and stuff a hot dog in one of the bags? I don't know. Where do you get that? But secondly, where's the coaching staff? I know that they're watching the game and they have to do things with the game. I understand that. I get that. But come on, you're eating a hot dog on the sidelines, and all of a sudden you got a kickoff coming up, and the guy's got chipmunk cheeks or something like this with the hot dog pointing out side of his mouth. I don't know, and he can't run on the field because he has to swallow it first. Seriously? So then the question was asked. So what ramifications or what punishment is going to happen to this core person that you're not naming? Well, Stooks said, and I quote, I talked to the player and we worked it all out, end quote. So you talked to him and said, okay, listen, next time we're having a football game, please don't eat on the sideline, okay? Because I really do need you on special teams. Come on, really? That's like a parent going up to a child that's acting up and saying, don't do that again. Don't do that. Please don't do that again, Johnny. Don't do that, please. Because if you do, well, I'm not going to like it. No, you have to discipline him. You think Bill Belichick would have put up with that? Oh, remember the guy in the Super Bowl that did something years ago for the Patriots? He did something, I forget what it was. And he was benched. Absolutely benched. Right then and there. Wasn't used again. And he was a core player on defense, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was a corner or something. And Belichick benched him. Why? Because Belichick has the guts and intestinal fortitude to stand up and not tap somebody on the wrist and say, it's okay, we worked it out. No, you don't do that. I don't know who this player was. He's on special teams, but he also could be on defense. He also could be on offense. I don't know. The point is you have to send a message. And this team is not sending messages the way they should. And that's really bothersome. Really bothersome. Because you can't let the players run the organization. That's why you're the coach. You're supposed to coach them. Much like a parent would coach a child or raise a child up, So there you go. Let me chime in. Madunga says it was a Super Bowl MVP the year prior for the Patriots that got benched. Well, there you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Bill Belichick would not put up with it. Now, if he can bench an MVP from the year previous, but Dwayne Stooks can't do anything, but hey, we talked it out. It's okay. Really? I'm not liking this, guys. I'm really not liking this at all. At all. There needs to be accountability. And right now, there doesn't seem to be any. And that's bothersome. Absolutely bothersome. Okay, let's go on to a new captain on the Denver Broncos. Now, after Bradley Chubb, who was the defensive captain, one of the defense captains on the Broncos, after Bradley Chubb was traded to the Dolphins, Nathaniel Hackett named Kareem Jackson as the new full-time defensive captain. He joins Russell Wilson, Cortland Sutton, Justin Simmons, and Brandon McManus as the other captains. Now, is that a good move for Kareem Jackson? Absolutely. It's a great honor to be named a captain. And why not? Kareem Jackson has stood out. The thing that I don't like about him being chosen captain is, do they do it because of longevity on the team? Do they do it because of their leadership, their play on the field? Maybe all of them. Maybe all of that comes into play. Maybe the way they conduct themselves off the field. Well, I would think that maybe if it's based a lot on play and leadership and whatnot, what about Patrick Surtain? He's not on here. What about him? Maybe it's because it's only his second year. I don't know. But I am glad that Kareem Jackson was given the opportunity to be a full-time defensive captain along with Justin Simmons as the other defensive captain. I think that's great. I hope he uses it to the Broncos' advantage, that he goes in there and he conducts himself as the captain, as the leader of that secondary. So congratulations to Kareem Jackson on being named captain on the defensive side. Okay. Now, a lot of people said, we got to give Nathaniel Hackett at least the rest of this year. We have to give him, maybe another year, depending on how this one shapes out. There's been a lot of injuries. There's been a lot of this, that, and the other thing that's caused us not to win. Play calling, penalties, all that. But there has been speculation that if Hackett is gone at the end of the year, who should the Broncos get? Well, let me tell you somebody who is available. And here it is. The Indianapolis Colts fired Frank Reich last week and replaced him with who? Jeff Saturday. What the heck? Jeff Saturday hasn't been in the league for, 11 years? Since he retired? Let me go on. Saturday, that's what I just said. Saturday hasn't been in the league for 11 seasons and has 0 head coach experience. Yeah, well, there you go. Hackett had 0 head coach experience, but Hackett wasn't out of the league for 11 seasons. I mean, that's a lot of player turnover. So I doubt that any player on Indianapolis at this point in time ever played with Jeff Saturday. I doubt it seriously. There might be maybe 1, maybe 2. I don't know. Okay. Saturday said, and I quote, I can lead these men, end quote. Okay. I mean, talk is cheap. We'll see what happens come this wait a minute. Come this Sunday, could the Colts have gotten a better team to play this Sunday with Jeff Saturday making his debut as head coach after not even being in the league for 11 seasons? Could they have gotten a better team to match up against? Nope. They got the perfect team to match up against it. Here it is. The Colts' next game this Sunday is against the 2-6 Vegas Raiders. That's right. Josh McDaniels' team, who's only won 2, against Jeff Saturday's team, who's only won, 1 or 2, but Saturday hasn't won any. So that'll be interesting. Can you imagine if Jeff Saturday led Colts upset the Raiders in Vegas this Sunday? You think Josh McDaniels will be around? I don't know. I absolutely don't know. But boy, oh boy, if Josh McDaniels loses this game, yeah, I dare say his days, hours, or minutes are numbered. Absolutely numbered. So, if Nathaniel Hackett is released on or before the end of the season, you guys tell me, would you want a Frank Reich as our Broncos' new head coach? Would you want that? It's been thrown out there. It's been suggested. Would you want that? Okay. Good correction, Avatar. Thank you so much. Since I don't follow the Colts, you're right. I probably should have wrote that down, and I apologize. Colts are 3-5-1. You're correct. But they do have a winning record. That's true. Well, not winning record, but one more win than the Raiders. So that part's true. But I mean, can you imagine if Josh McDaniels loses to not only a first-time head coach, but a no-time head coach and out of the league for 11 seasons? Holy smokes. That would, I dare say that would do in Josh McDaniels. I don't see him sticking around if that were to happen. But again, I go back to my question. Would anybody out there like to see a Frank Reich take over for the Denver Broncos? I'm not saying I want this. I'm not advocating to get Hackett fired. I'm just saying if the if the Broncos let go of Nathaniel Hackett, would you want Frank Reich? And if not, who would you want? Just throwing it out there. Let me know what you guys think. All right. Russell Wilson. Man, this guy, it seems, I don't know why he wears a target on his back. Everything this guy does, Pete Carroll's got to chime in about something, I mean, come on, man. Let bygones be bygones, okay? He's not on the Seahawks anymore. Let it go. Treat it like a freaking divorce. Close the door. Walk away. Okay? That's what you got to do. I know it stings possibly, but do you have to constantly pick on this guy? Okay, here we go. 2 weeks ago in London, Russell Wilson wore a wristband with plays on it. He will be wearing it again this Sunday in Tennessee. And here's what Hackett said regarding that. And I quote, "We've been looking at everything and anything we can to help our process. Whether that's going to the whether that's going to be the reason why we win or the reason why we lose, I don't know. If that's going to help us better ourselves, then we want to do it. Right now, we're 1-0 with the wristband, so why not keep it on?" End quote. Well, there you go. But Pete Carroll had to chime in and say, well, he refused to wear a wristband in Seattle. But he was younger. Maybe there was a reason. I mean, maybe it felt uncomfortable. Maybe it was something that he just couldn't get used to when he was younger. I don't know. But Pete, why do you have to bring it up? Why do you have to say, well, you didn't wear it in Seattle? What's it matter to you? What does it matter to you and your team and whatever? Who cares about Seattle? Stay up in Washington. Okay? Just saying. Anyways, well, Russell Wilson said that he doesn't mind wearing it. He said it didn't bother him. And another thing is, if you put a couple of condensed plays on there without all the verbiage, and Nathaniel Hackett just, calls into his helmet and says, hey, play 21 or play 16A or whatever. And Wilson looks at it and goes, yeah, all right, cool. I got that. I know exactly what that is. And then he calls the play and then he's able to relay that to the guys in the huddle without having to wait for it to come in the helmet, try to decipher what's being said when the crowd noise is extremely loud. This makes it so much easier. So much easier. So I say, what's the big deal about wearing it? Tom Brady's worn it for years. You think Tom Brady doesn't know plays? Come on, man. Seriously? Tom Brady probably knows more plays than most quarterbacks and coaches have ever learned. He'll have forgotten that many. So if Tom Brady can wear it, what's the problem? Why not wear it? If it reduces the time that the play comes in and allows Russell Wilson to survey the defense that much longer, great. Whatever it takes to do to get the play correct and win the game. I'm all for it. Absolutely all for it. So, okay. Avatar says, that was a joke on Wednesday that if the Raiders lose to Saturday on Sunday, would be McDaniels be gone on Monday. It may have been a joke, but we don't know Mark Davis. We don't know. I mean, he says he's all in on, Josh McDaniels. He says he's all in on him. And if that's the case, well, good for him. Win, lose, or draw. He's going to stick with him. Fine. That's his choice. I just think it would cause a lot of questions. Obviously, there'll be a lot of questions in Vegas. So I just think it's just another another degree turned up on the hot seat under Josh McDaniels right now. Okay, so going back to the Russell Wilson wristband. So I say, hey, if it works, why change it? Why change if it's working? Absolutely, why change if it's working? So, I mean, you don't want to change in midstream. I mean, we're halfway through the season. What they've been doing before hasn't worked all that well. I mean, we've won 3 games, but one of them was with the wristband and in London. So I say, why change? If it's working and he's comfortable with it, doesn't have a problem, then there's no reason to change. So, hey, I say wear it the rest of the season. Why not? What's the worst thing that could happen? I know, a loss. Anyways, okay, speaking of if it's not broken, don't fix it, I go to this. Broncos 1-0 in off uniforms. What do I mean by off uniforms? Well, in London, they wore the white jersey with the blue stripe down the side. This one's orange. It's not a jersey, but it's a shirt. But this one's orange. So it's white one has the blue stripe down the side. And they wore their blue pants, which has the orange stripe down the side. So it was a mismatch. But because they won, here it is. With the Broncos getting a win in London with the white jerseys and blue pants, they will be wearing that same combination in Tennessee this Sunday. You know what I say? Like I said before, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Why not? Something different. I know. Madungus has told me over and over and over and over. Had nothing to do with the uniforms. It's all about the players on the field, like it's Super Bowl 32, Terrell Davis. I get that. And it was a defense at Super Bowl 50. And it was John Elway and Rod Smith primarily in Super Bowl 33. Okay, that's true. Very true. But my point is this. The uniforms they were wearing was a blue top and the white pants. That's what I'm saying. It was the blue. Now, obviously, when they're on the road, it's white. But you get my point. And if this combination worked, why change it? You know? Hey, thanks a lot, Richie. Richie's in the house, man. Thanks a lot. Something different? I thought old people hated change. That's true, but I'm not old. Well, define old. I'm just giving you a hard time. For the most part, I don't like change unless I make it. And since the Broncos changed, but you guys know me. If you've listened long enough, you know me. I love the dark uniform, the blue, the orange pops on it. I mean, again, I've shown you this many times. The orange pops on the dark blue. The blue does not pop on the orange jersey. It just doesn't. I mean, because the dark blue does not pop on an orange jersey. The orange stands out. So I love this offset. I know it plays weird tricks on people's minds when they see the orange stripe and the blue stripe meeting together at the waist. I don't care about that. I just like the blue pants or the blue jersey. I would love to have the all blues, the home jersey. Not going to happen. I'd still like to have the blue jersey as a home jersey. Not going to happen. In fact, something else could happen. Another uniform change. And I'm not in favor of this, guys. I am not in favor of this. And I'll explain completely why. As you probably guessed I would. Broncos possible uniform change. The Denver Broncos have begun to explore the possible uniform change and want the season ticket members to submit their feedback. I'll submit my feedback right now. I don't like it. Don't change it. Don't. You know, people say, well, we're going to do a combination of the D on the side, the D logo. Why? That horse doesn't look aggressive. It doesn't. Take a look at past uniforms or past logos, okay? You got the Buffalo Bills with the Buffalo just standing there. How does that look aggressive? The Buffalo Bill helmet now logo looks great. The Patriots, although I did like that Patriot old logo with the Patriot, looking like the center over the football. I did like that. But I like the new Patriot one better than that because it's more aggressive. Maybe I shouldn't use the word aggressive. Maybe I should just use the word, it looks more modern. How's that? Okay. A line of Falcons, much better than the Falcon they had before. And I could go on and on. I mean, Giants can't do anything with their helmet. It just looks dumb with the NY on the side. Anyways, but there are certain helmets that just look better now than they did back then. And I know there's a lot of old school people. Hey, I've been a Bronco fan since 1976. I've lived with that old logo for years. And when they changed to the new one, I was elated, ecstatic. Right here, guys, right here. That logo needs to stay. It just does. Now, if you want to make a combination of maybe, that lighter blue that reminds me of the Chargers, which makes me want to get sick, and you want to put that in the uniform or the helmet logo or whatever, fine. But don't change the logo. Don't do it. Why go backwards? I mean, I understand it's all about marketing. Everything in the NFL is about marketing. Absolutely. Would that mean that I would buy a new uniform? Well, it depends if I like it. It all depends if I like it or not. I only have one old school Bronco uniform. And that was because my son bought it for me years ago when John Elway was still the quarterback. I believe it was in the early to mid 90s. He bought it for me. It's a white one. And that one I wear. I like that one. But I don't like the logo. And if they went back to that old style with the stripes down the side, like right here, 2 big wide stripes or something, that would be fine. And you want to mix in, like I said, the lighter blue with the darker blue and the orange, that's fine too. Don't get rid of the logo. That's all I'm asking. Okay. I'm not a season ticket holder. I can't chime in on this other than what I'm doing now, but that's probably not going to carry any weight. But it doesn't matter. What does matter is they're going to look to make a uniform change. And there's going to be input from the season ticket holders as to the design, the color scheme, the logo, everything. So stay tuned for that, guys, because it is coming at some point in time. And they did say that they're looking to a 1 to 2 year process. So it's not going to happen like overnight. Definitely not going to happen overnight. But they're looking into possibly changing it here in the next year or two. So there you go, guys. So chime in with whatever scheme you like, because who knows? It might carry some weight. Okay. Bill, I like that Super Bowl 50 flag behind you. Richie Rich says, thanks, Rich. Got that right after they'd won the Super Bowl, and I love it too. Absolutely love it. That's why I keep it up there, even though I have Avalanche flag, but I will only put that Avalanche flag up after football season. So anyways, okay. Another Richie Rich also says, I'd like to see the old D with the new Bronco horse. Now that one, okay, Rich, that's a great point. Great point. I'm glad you brought that up. I think that would look spectacular. I really, really do. And I would be totally in favor of that. Absolutely totally in favor of that. I just don't want to get rid of this logo right here because it looks much better than the old logo of the horse. I just didn't like that with I know it was a breath coming out, but it just looked strange. Just looked strange to me. And I just was not a big fan of that look. But I do like your take on that. Now, go ahead and submit that to the Denver Broncos new ownership, and hopefully that'll take root, man, because I would love to see that would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal. New Jersey Giants. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever go there. I really don't. But I agree with you. It should be New Jersey Giants and New Jersey Jets. But, New York's the Big Apple, so they're not going to walk away from that market. That's for sure. Absolutely not. Okay, let's go to more Bronco injuries. Now, these are injuries that happened in the not off season, but in the bye week. This is what happened in the bye week. And this is something I don't understand. I mean, wide receiver KJ Hamler hamstring is out for this game against Tennessee. So we don't have KJ Hamler. We don't have we have Cortland Sutton, we have Jerry Jeudy, but we don't have Tim Patrick because he's out for the year. So we are dropping like flies. And if this is in the walkthrough or workout before a game, so this is not good. And then we got linebacker Baron Browning with a hip. He did not practice. He didn't practice yesterday. And then we got Justin Simmons, who's questionable. But I understand that he's back and he will be in the game. But he didn't practice either, but he's questionable. But these hamstring injuries, my goodness, between hamstring and ACL and MCL and AFL and NFL, whatever. I mean, these injuries are crazy. And they're happening in non-game action. Some is game action, absolutely. And yes, that's true. But the KJ Hamler wasn't. It was done in practice and non-contact. So what are these guys doing or not doing that is causing their hamstrings to just go? Are they pushing themselves too hard? Are they not stretching enough? I don't know. But that is alarming and that is concerning for sure. You know? So it's something that is an issue. Now, can we blame all of our losses on that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's next man up. But in this case, I mean, when you got receivers going down, you've got offensive linemen, although it is good to see Glasgow in center. I don't like to see anybody injured on the Broncos at all. But with Cushenberry out for 4 weeks, and if the Broncos can win 4 straight games with Glasgow center, I'd say you keep him there for the rest of the season, just like you keep the wristband on if that's working. All right? That's what I say. Okay, guys. One scenario, let's see what Richie Rich says here. One scenario is taking too much of a break and not stretching in the off time. I agree. That's what I was alluding to. Was it the non-stretching? Was it the time off? Was it all of these things that added up? Because they do. They do. So that's a good point. I would have to agree. Probably relaxing down at the Bahamas, taking the sun in, getting a suntan, and oh dang, I got to stretch. Oh, forgot to do that. Yeah, good point, Richie. Okay, let's go to the last segment, and that is the game this Sunday, Denver at Tennessee. Denver is 3-5, and Tennessee is 5-3. Derrick Henry has found his stride, and Denver has had trouble against the run. Oh boy. That's not a good combination, guys. The Broncos' run defense is somewhat, for lack of a better word, pathetic. Although they have stopped some on occasion, but Derrick Henry is a whole different character. This guy is solid. He's got a stiff arm that will knock you on your backside in a heartbeat, and he doesn't go down easily. So the Broncos definitely have their hands full with Derrick Henry. So if the Broncos can stop, let me back up because that ain't going to happen. If the Broncos can slow down and keep Derrick Henry under 100 yards rushing, and I know that's a big order to fill. That's a big job to fill. I get it. But I'm saying if the Broncos can keep Derrick Henry under 100 yards, that forces Tennessee to throw the ball. And they're not throwing in Patrick Surtain's direction. And that Justin Simmons is lurking out there to cover up on the other side of the field. Whether it's down the middle, the other side, Josie Jewell, linebacker. Hopefully, we can get some interceptions or pass deflections or whatever, incompletions. We have to force Tennessee to throw. If we force them to throw, we have a much better chance, obviously. Because if Tennessee is running the ball, holy smokes, they can chew up 8 minutes of the clock, 10 minutes of the clock in every quarter. Then what? Denver only gets what? 4 possessions in the game? And they have to punt 3 times? You're not going to win that game. You got to stop Derrick Henry. I don't care if you put 8 in the box. Put 8 in the box and force them to throw. Force them to throw. Put Patrick Surtain one-on-one. He's great one-on-one. He's not a shadow. He's a skin of the guy that he's covering. He's that close. And then you've got Justin Simmons over the top on the other side. Or linebacker. You got Josie Jewell linebacker. So force them to throw. Don't sit in a 4-3 and let Derrick Henry run the A gap or B gap and just run all over Broncos. No, don't do that. Don't. Force them to pass. So if that's the case, I think the Broncos can win this game. I don't think it's going to be a big score. I don't think both teams will be in the 20s. No way. Not with Denver's defense. Unless Derrick Henry runs all over. And if that's the case, it's going to be a lopsided win for the Tennessee Titans. So, you got to remember, though, Tennessee just played Kansas City Monday night. And the Titans gave Kansas City all they could handle. And this was in Kansas City. This is not in Tennessee. This is in Kansas City. And the Chiefs had to come from behind and win this game 2017. Is the Broncos defense better than the Chiefs? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. But the Chiefs offense is better than the Broncos. So, what do I think the final score will be? Great question. Again, I don't think it's going to be lopsided. I don't think it's be, high scoring. It could be lopsided if we can't stop Derrick Henry. I'm banking on the fact we're going to stop Derrick Henry. We're going to keep him under 100 yards. We're going to force Tennessee to throw. And Broncos will win this game in a very close game. Broncos 17, Tennessee 16. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. I appreciate it. MHRT Network appreciates it. And please hit the like button, the thumbs up button, tell your friends, and just appreciate all you guys watching and your support. Before I get out of here, let me go to let you know all of the things that's coming up. So this Sunday, we have the neighborhood. We're back after the bye week. The neighborhood kicks off at game time, 10 o'clock Pacific. So it's 10, 12, 1. That kicks off live, and it's Madungus Creevy and myself. We will be breaking down the plays, commenting on the plays, and just giving you our opinion and what we think. That, again, is Sunday. That's line 11-1. Then on Monday, we have the Cluster Puck with a P, Cluster Puck podcast. That features Nick and Brett. They talk about the Colorado Avalanche past games, and then they also talk about the games coming up, and they bring you a lot of good insight on the Avalanche. Then on Tuesday, we have the 5280 podcast. That features Madungus Creevy, his good friend Glenn Hauser, Cam, and Boggins. That goes live so the Cluster Puck goes live every Monday, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 5280 on Tuesday goes live every Tuesday, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on Wednesday, we have the Wild Wild West. That features a fan from every AFC West team, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs. That goes live every Wednesday, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30. And then on Friday, this show, Broncos Breakdown, featuring me, Bronco Bill, goes live every Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Have a great weekend. Once again, I want to say, I didn't say this, but I do want to say it before I get out of here. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for keeping America free. And I know freedom isn't free. And I want to thank every single one out there that's a U.S. veteran. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Till Sunday, guys. Until next Friday, take care. We will talk to you then. Bye-bye.